Hey guys, welcome back to another build video. Today we are starting a series of builds for Heresy that we're going to put out. We're going to do some more here in the future, but we're starting with Renewal Grasps as they are getting a bit of a buff to how quickly they can gain Frost Armor stacks. There's just one change to Renewal Grasps, and they're just doubling the rate of Frost Armor gain while inside of the Enhanced Dusk Field. So if you don't know what Renewal Grasps do, they will enhance your Dusk Field grenades, and they will give you and your allies Frost Armor as well as some DR for the enemies inside of it. They won't do as much damage, and it is a very nice thing to pair with this exotic sword here. Even though Lament is far beyond its glory days, it's still a pretty decent thing to pair with Renewal Grasps. I'm sure there might be some new things to pair with this exotic, but I just wanted to go for a Blast from the Past because it gives you some healing. It also shreds some champions as well. And the main thing that we look for here is damaging a combatant heals the wielder. And the big part is damaging. You might be in a lost sector or you might be in a higher level activity, and you need to get some health real quick because we are using stasis, and we'll get to the abilities and fragments and whatnot here as well. But stasis just doesn't have a lot of healing. It does have a lot of way to get damage resist with Frost Armor, but the healing is very much lacking, and that's why we use Lament to kind of give us a way to heal while also doing some really decent damage. Now I will show some gameplay if you've never used Lament before. Basically the way you do it is you hold it to rev the blade, and you're going to hold your charge button, whatever that is. For me on console it's LT. So I believe if you're on PC it's a right click and then 3 left clicks. So if you're on console it's just hold LT, do 3 light attacks, and then you're going to hit RB to do your heavy attack. I don't know what it is on PC, but there's a combo you do. You hold, rev the blade, do 3 light attacks, and then you charge up your stacks of Banshee's Wail, and you do the heavy attack to get a huge damage stack increase, and that's where you deal your biggest blow, is once you have those 9 stacks of Banshee's Wail. So for abilities, obviously we need the Dusk Field Grenade, and all the rest is pretty straightforward. You're going to want Gambler's Dodge because we are going to work our Withering Blade into our build here to kind of have another way to get some uptime on our Dusk Field. We are of course going to have Touch of Winter so that our Glacier Grenade will have a Stasis Crystal in the center of it, and we're going to have Winter's Shroud to dodge nearby enemies. Grim Harvest is another good one to have on. This one might be better, but since we have our grenade basically all the time, we don't need this specifically, but it is pretty nice to have if you prefer it over Winter Shroud. I just like having that uptime on our class ability because we're going to be slowing a lot of combatants as well. For our fragments, we're going to have Whisper of Chains. Defeating targets while you have Frost Armor has a chance to create a Stasis Shard, just another way for us to get some melee energy back. Whisper of Shards, which is the most important, shattering a Stasis Crystal temporarily boosts your grenade recharge rate. Shattering additional Stasis Crystals increases the duration of this benefit. So the more crystals we have, the better. We'll get to how we can make some more, because we already have, with our Glacial Grenade, we already have a Stasis Crystal at the center of it. But Headstone, obviously, you can use that as well to make more crystals. Whisper of Hunger, so we get a little bit more melee energy from those Stasis Shards. It is a big hit to our strength, but this is a grenade-focused build, so we don't really need it. And Whisper of Rime, so that we are getting the maximum amount of Frost Armor we can get, which is up to 8 stacks, which I believe is around 50% damage reduction. It is very, very nice. So for our weapons, you can see I have Disparity, which has Headstone on it. The only reason I'm using it here is because the Lost Sector I'm going to showcase the build in does have Unstop, and Pulse Rifles are Unstop. Other weapons that you can get right now with Headstone include Red Tape from this season, as well as the Auto Rifle from the episode Echoes, Veiled Threat. You can also go to the Pale Heart and get Bold Endings with Headstone as well. If you did the Dawning, you might have gotten a Stay Frosty with Headstone. There's a lot of guns with Headstone in the game now. Those are just a few. You might have one that has it already. Exuve, the hand cannon from Revenant as well has it. So plenty of guns. I love Disparity, and I needed an unstop gun. For our secondary, we are running Velocity Baton, simply because it has Demolitionist on it. If you don't have a Velocity Baton with Demo to help with your grenade recharge rate, Forbearance is a really solid option in this slot. I'm sure there are some fusion rifles out there that you could run with Demolitionist on there, maybe even a shotgun. Although I do think that Velocity Baton is the best option because we're going to be making orbs as well to get super energy, to get innervation or invigoration procs, as well as another way to get some more healing, which is really something that is lacking in this build. And that takes us to our armor mods. Feel free to pause and apply here. These are somewhat interchangeable for most of these. I had a kinetic siphon on because I was running a kinetic pulse at the beginning, but if you're running a stasis gun like me, you probably want stasis siphon on. We are going to be dodging a ton your enemies to get our melee back so that we can feed that loop of our grenade. So this is just a way to get some silence and squall energy. Heavy ammo finder, because Lament's heavy ammo economy can suck sometimes. It is usually pretty good, but this was just some security. If you feel like you don't need this on, you could throw on Ashes to Assets instead. And of course, here we have a grenade kickstart. This is a build for next season in Heresy. So I would have the grenade armorer mod on, so I have a discount here for the grenade stuff, but I want this to be a build that you can use next season so that you don't have to, unequip every single mod and replace it. So we just have the regular grenade kickstart here, and then again, impact induction, so that when we're using our shurikens, we're getting our grenade back. If for some reason we don't have a stasis crystal to pop, this is a way to get this back as well. And just a stasis loader, because Disparity does reload slow, but if you have a gun that doesn't have that issue, feel free to throw on another impact induction or whatever suits your fancy. I do recommend at least one Lucent Blade mod, because it does help with Lament a little bit so that your recharge rate is a little bit faster, but you don't necessarily need it. And if you are having trouble surviving, you should put another resist mod on. But generally speaking, this does help you survive in those bubbles and while you're damaging. And then for this, I have a better already for a little bit of health. I have Innervation to help with our grenade recharge rate, and then Solar Weapon Surge to get some more damage with Lament. And then for your class item, a Bomber, a Utility Kickstart to help with your class ability, and then Powerful Attraction to suck up all those orbs when you can. And that's it for the build here. And I'm going to show some gameplay. I hope you enjoy the gameplay and basically the way you want to use this build, as hopefully I'm showcasing at least somewhat well here. Basically what you want to do is throw down your Frost Armor Grenade, which is your Dust Field Grenade. I don't know why I said Frost Armor Grenade, that's not what it's called. But you're going to throw it down, you're going to get your Frost Armor stacks going, and you're going to kill whatever is in that bubble. And you shouldn't die. You should have a very hard time dying with this build. It is possible, and I think I might die in the Lost Sector. I can't remember. Or I might almost die. But basically, if you run it correctly, and you always have your grenade up, whenever you're doing damage, you're going to have an insane amount of Frost Armor, which is going to give you damage resist. And whatever you're damaging, be it a champion or the Lost Sector boss, inside of your Duskfield Grenade, you're going to be getting healed by Lament, while you're also, they're dealing less damage inside of the grenade, and again, you should have those full stacks of Frost Armor. So you're not unkillable, you're not invincible. I'd be lying if I sat here and told you you're not going to die with this build on, because it takes a little getting used to and getting into the flow of things, making sure you shatter the Stasis Crystal so that you get that buff to your grenade recharge rate, and you almost always have it up. And obviously having a demo weapon on, be it a primary like Better Devils or whatever, helps a lot, because you have those orbs, you have demo, which again is going to give you some grenade energy a little bit faster if you mess up with your stasis crystals. So yeah, I mean, this build is just fun. I thought it was a good time using Lament because it's just something I haven't used in so long due to it being nerfed. But now it's it's something I'm looking forward to using with Frost Armor being the way it is. It's not really getting any changes, but you will be able to get Frost Armor a little bit faster, which means maybe you won't have to spend as much time inside of that grenade. You might be able to roam a little bit better, and there might be some other options out there aside from just Lament. So we'll have to see. I'm also thinking about doing a prismatic version of this build with maybe a different set of weapons, maybe with some glaives, because glaives are gonna get reworked next episode, or at least they're supposed to, so that could be a fun thing to do as well. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and I'll see you guys in the next build video.